like I just said, we just came back off tour.
Yeah.
You know, with Fifth, and we still touring. Still. And I do my own tours too for people. Be like, oh, yo.
You see,
I do my own tours. I did tours in Canada. I did a tour across the whole Germany and the Swiss Alps. And that's why I don't care about the hate. Cause I'm like, I got the possibility to do my own tour. Like something with Memphis Bleek. Memphis Bleek said to Nori, Yayo said Jay-Z didn't have us on tour like he did, or I eat my own halal. I eat my own halal too, if you want to say that. To Memphis Bleek, I just came off my last tour. All I'm saying is when you see Jay-Z in Escalating, he never really, when he's doing a Beyonce show or whatever, you don't see Memphis Bleek on the stage and him being brought out.
Jim Jones just lost it and went all the way off on Tony Yayo during Memphis Bleek's podcast. And trust me, this one got wild fast. The craziest twist, Memphis Bleek himself don't even mess with Yayo like that. So what's really going down here? Why is Bleek holding smoke for Tony Yayo, and what made Jim Jones explode like that in front of everybody? This whole scene turned messy before anyone could blink. Let's start with Bleek, because his story's the easier one to unpack.
Everything y'all niggas do, I don't do. I do the other thing. Everything y'all niggas go across the street that way, I'm going up. Holla at your boy. I do other things, man. I don't do what y'all niggas do. I don't do what niggas do. I don't watch niggas' money. I don't care. I just do what I do.
Memphis Bleek been loyal to Jay-Z since forever. That's day one family right there. Hov's lil bro, no doubt about it. But Tony Yayo, he's been throwing slick shots at Jay for years. Yayo even said straight up that Jay-Z tried to block 50 Cent from performing at the Super Bowl halftime show. And ever since that, he's been holding that grudge like it's his last dollar. So when Yayo sat down with Shannon Sharpe, he came in swinging. He called Jay-Z a hater, saying he don't ever help nobody, don't put people on, and only looks out for himself.
You know, even if I'm doing the hype man shit with 50, he's bringing me out. I'm making money. I'm going to...
That's that man girl too. That's it. That's whole wife tour.
Yeah, that's whole wife tour.
So I believe if Hov was out on his own, he would bring Bleek out. There is no need for him to bring Bleek in a situation where it looked like if this was last tour you're talking about with the Cowboy Carter.
Right.
Yeah.
So to me, because I look at Bleek as a loyal guy, like I'm a loyal guy to Jay. But I look at like Fifth, my guy Hervé, one day we had TRL, and it's the young gun that's there.
Yeah.
And I'm talking to him about it. And Hervé says loud, you don't gotta worry about nothing. You got 50. Jay-Z doesn't do nothing for these guys like 50 does. And Hervé, I think he worked with them too. But he said that to me, and that always stuck in my head. Rest in peace to him.
Then he took that wild shot at Bleek, saying, look at Memphis Bleek. He not shining, he not winning. Jay-Z don't take care of him like 50 take care of me. Man, that line set the internet on fire. It blew up like a bomb dropped in the middle of the culture. And honestly, let's keep it real. Arguing about who's got the better sugar daddy is just crazy. That's not how solid men move. I was always told, you can't eat off another man's plate, because the moment he stopped feeding you, your people starve. So all that 50 takes care of me more than Jay takes care of Bleek talk, nah, that's wild.
It's between me and other niggas, right? Stack Bundles, one of my favorite rappers in the world.
Rest in peace, Stack
right?
Bundles.
Rest in peace.
Far Rock,
yep.
You understand? Jim Jones, he had Stack Bundles, he had Max B. I looked at it like, wait, you know. Stack Bundles had a Porsche and was still in the hood. No disrespect to Jim Jones. Fifth had me in Battery Park. I could walk out that barefoot.
Get the socks.
See, that's when a nigga love you, nigga. Get the socks, nigga. Sneakers Dior, nigga. But I'm walking out there barefoot. That's when you know a nigga love you, boy. Because he making sure you don't get your shit split. Because you go back to 134, anywhere, Baisley, right, Brooklyn, pew, shit get split. Once I got shit, nigga shot my shit up. Bentleys and all that. Y'all can get that sneaker, just toss that over there. My shit's official. You know what I'm saying? Yo, look, but nigga put me in position. Rest in peace of Stack, but Stack got killed in the project with a Porsche.
Yeah.
Nigga, come on, nigga, I'm from the hood, nigga. Y'all niggas thought, nigga. I done been around the Black Justice and seen the Preems and all that, nigga. The E-Money bags, all that, nigga. The younger niggas under that.
Real men hustle for their own, period. If your homie helps you level up, salute that. But bragging about who's spoiling you more, That's not a flex, that's a red flag. Yayo tried to paint Jay-Z as selfish, but the way he said it, it came off like he was proud of being taken care of, and that rubbed a lot of real ones the wrong way, especially in hip-hop, where standing on your own name means everything. So when Memphis Bleek pulled up on Drink Champs, you already knew he wasn't letting that slide.
Something to say.
I seen something Tony Yayo said, Hov don't look out for me like 50 look out for him.
Oh, word? He said that?
I just want to clear that up. Hov don't have to.
All right.
You know what I mean?
All right. Okay.
I'm chewing aloud on my own.
All right.
If Hov look out, I'm telling you, I'll be up there.
Right.
So when y'all see me out here, that's the Blizzle budget. But back to you, I'm sorry for cutting you off, but I just want to let niggas know Hov don't have to.
Right. So,
He had to clear the air once and for all. He said straight up, there was never deep beef between him and Yayo before this. They'd crossed paths, even showed love a few times. But after those comments, the vibe changed quick. That energy turned cold real fast. It's not an all-out war yet, but there's definitely smoke in the air. Bleek's tone told the whole story. He wasn't chasing drama, but he wasn't backing down either. He basically said, "You're not gonna play with my name and think it's sweet." And that's when Jim Jones jumped in and turned the whole thing into an inferno. Once Jim got involved, it went from a small spark to a full-on explosion.
So with everything you
Maserati Fox, real nigga. Huh?
With everything that you saw, what would you change?
I just pray to God every time I leave the house.
But what would you change?
Change what?
Pass the cup.
I heard you talk about all the shit you went through, all the shit niggas is still going through.
What
Yeah,
God,
one of them cups
listen,
just for
what
the
God
ashtray.
got planned for you is planned for you, brother. God already know what's planned for you in life.
God planned for you to come here and spaz on y'all niggas tonight.
I spaz?
I'm just saying it was a plan.
I mean, I do be on some Hollywood shit from Europe. I gotta stop.
Yeah.
Something like, yo, stop talking about Europe. I don't, like, when you come here, you gotta deal with
Don't treat
niggas.
Vlad like that, bro. See how niggas is? See how
No, I
niggas
had
is,
nothing to do with
bro?
Vlad.
He ain't treat Vlad
do with
like
Europe.
this. He
I
ain't
do
treat
things
Vlad
for
like
you. You have to
this,
do with
my
Europe.
nigga.
When you go
Even though Bleek didn't flat out say it, the message was clear as day. Man, forget Tony Yayo. He said it with his chest through that energy. But here's where it gets even deeper. Tony Yayo been that loud, unfiltered dude forever. He's the type to call out anyone who don't look out for their squad. That same keep it real or stay quiet attitude that made him famous is now the same one stirring up chaos again. And this time, it's pointed straight at Jim Jones. Now, if you remember the G-Unit versus Dipset era, you know how insane things got back then. 50 Cent, Cameron, Jim Jones, that was pure madness in the mid-2000s. Diss tracks flying, egos clashing, whole crews ready for war, and it was wild to watch. Most people thought that beef was buried long ago, but after Yayo's latest shots and Jim's fiery response,
I want to say this. The problem is, when she was on the show, she had said that she had heard about you wasn't giving Stack money, but people don't know that when Stack asked you for the bread, you were going to the bank. I think the bank was closed. Something happened because me and Bino talked about it. I remember being there, and you was going to give him
more money after the money he spent because we was on tour. He like, geez, I spent all that tour money, geez, on Pop, a bucket. Whatever he did, brought another Porsche, BMW. He like, yo, Pop, geez, you said a closed mouth don't get fed, geez, I'm Pop, geez, I'm hurting.
It's a fact.
And when I told him, I said, yo, go get 25 grand from the bank tomorrow. He like, oh, yo, what's up with that Wrangler truck? I'm like, I left that shit in Brooklyn. I don't even want that shit. I don't even know what block it's on. Matter of fact, it's by the car shop where I got the Maserati from. He like, you let me get that, geez. I'm like, go take it. You probably got to get a new key. He like, oh, I'm going to go get that tomorrow, geez. You different, geez. And we all know the rest of the story.
Why do you think that people have this misconception of what happened? Why do you think even her? Why do you think that? Where did that come from?
Nobody likes to hear the truth.
Because we were there. Bino get mad all the time. And he gets offended. And he was one of the people that called me. He was like, that's not true. They think that, what they think is that Stack asked you, he told you he wanted to leave. They said that Stack told you he wanted to leave, he wanted to move, and you didn't move him out. But that's not true.
You want to hear that story? All right, for Stacks and them, I was about to buy Stacks to give Max and Melly a whole brownstone in New Jersey. None of them wanted to leave the hood.
looks like that old school tension just got reignited all over again. You'd think all that drama was buried by now, right? Wrong. Over the past few years, Tony Yayo and Jim Jones been tossing shots back and forth again. And this time, it ain't about music beef. It's personal. The tension between them feels raw, like wounds that never healed. When Yayo pulled up to Math Hoffa's My Expert Opinion, he dropped one of the coldest bombs hip-hop's heard in a minute. He straight up accused Jim Jones of leaving Stack Bundles in the hood to die. Yeah, you heard that right. He said it loud, clear, and from the heart. You could feel that energy through the screen. Yayo said, "This is the difference between me and other niggas, right? Stack Bundles, one of my favorite rappers in the world. Rest in peace, rest in squad, rest in peace, Far Rock."
Well, a lot of, me from the hood, so people look at Bleek and don't understand the business he's doing. They always look at Jay like, oh,
yeah. That's why you got like Yayo talking about, Jay don't take care of. I don't need Jay to go on tour.
Yo, smoke hard coke, yo.
Yo, chill.
You look like you need to be taken care of. You look like you need to go to the dentist. You need to look like you need to brush your teeth. You look like you need hygiene. You look like you need help. Tell your man 50 send you an ounce or something, yo.
You do need that
might
help.
need 2 ounces, nigga.
That's why
Paid in full movie, nigga. I got a G for every bump in your face, nigga. I promise you that, nigga. I promise you that, nigga.
That's why he worried about
Peon, you broke, nigga. You know I got it, nigga. What's up? The
ain't
bag
nobody,
is up.
The both sides. Hey,
Flea, where the both sides, Flea?
Let me finish that off. Ain't nobody taking care of over here, B. Yo, nah, you good, my nigga. I fucking love it. They deserve it. They need to hear this shit, man, because they bugging out here. All these niggas worrying about who taking care of who. We take care of we. Ain't no who nigga. Take care of who, nigga. You know who doing it. We live. We getting money.
Nigga. We take care of everybody. Nigga. We take care of each other. Nigga.
That's a fact, my G. But linking back up with you, Jim, we missed out on a lot of opportunity, bro. But we ain't gonna miss it out going forward. We need to put some pain together, bro.
Don't lie.
You understand? Jim Jones, he had Stack Bundles. He had Max B. I looked at it like great. That's not just words. That's emotion mixed with disappointment. Then he kept going, saying Stack stayed in the hood even when his name was buzzing. He was still chilling on the same blocks, surrounded by the same danger he was supposed to escape. That's when Yayo made his point crystal clear, comparing Jim to 50. He said, "No disrespect to Jim Jones, Fifth had me in Battery Park. I could walk out there barefoot, get the socks. See, that's when a man loves you. He making sure you don't get your shit split because you go back to 134 or anywhere, basically Brooklyn, shit gets split." That line hit like a punch. Yayo was saying 50 didn't just sign him, he protected him.
And I was not about to waste my money, and that was what I offered them. I went shopping for the shit and all that type of shit.
Yeah, we remember that, right, Bass? We remember that. Shout out to Bass. I remember the conversation.
And I'm like, yo, you bugging. You want to, like, yo, you can go to the hood every day, but you're going to be living in Jersey. Like, you're going to be living better than, like, you heard, and you don't have to worry about paying for no rent or nothing like that. I'm just trying to get you niggas out the hood. Melly too. Melly ended up getting shot, right? Like none of these would listen, and everything that happened that you know can happen in the hood end up happening and shit like that. You know what I mean? But everything to try to protect them for what I know could have happened to them, I tried. You heard? From getting all of these cars to getting all these everything. You can imagine everything. Private jets, Miami, hundreds of thousands in one weekend, 2 tour buses at Atlanta. Like, cannot front on how I had my boys moving. And I'm only talking about this because you was there. And you and Stacks were best friends. Were Bino, couple others and like that. Other than I don't even talk to people about Stacks and what went on. But we was setting it out. This was not on our level when we was moving. And no way.
He pulled him out the trenches and made sure he stayed safe. Then Yayo even told a wild story about how real 50's love was. Nigga shot my shit up, bent lease and all that. Fifth get the sneakers, toss them over, my shit official. It was like Yayo was painting a picture, a boss who actually cares about his people. And then came the line that sliced deep. Rest in peace, Stack, but Stack got killed in a project with a Porsche. That one sentence hit different. It exposed the heartbreak behind the success, a young legend gone too soon, killed in the same place he was trying to rise from while his boss lived comfortably away from the chaos. That interview tore the internet apart. Fans were split right down the middle. Some said Yayo was keeping it real, speaking truth about how loyalty's supposed to look in this industry. But others said he went too far, using a man's death to throw dirt on another's name. Either way, it reignited a fire that the streets thought had died years ago. According to Yayo, Jim Jones failed Stack Bundles, that he didn't look out for his artist the way a real leader should have. He suggested that if Jim had shown more love, maybe things would have gone differently. That's not some light gossip, and that's a heavy accusation that hits deep, because it's about legacy, brotherhood, and loyalty in a cold industry. Now, for those who might not know who Stack Bundles was, let me break it down real quick. Stack was one of Jim's real day ones, a young star from Far Rockaway, Queens. Dude had it all, bars, confidence, and that street charm that made people believe in him. Jim Jones took him under his wing, put him in the spotlight, signed him to his movement, and brought him into the game. He was supposed to be the next big thing, no question. But here's where the pain hits. Even with all that potential, Stack never fully left the hood. He was still there, surrounded by the same streets he came from, and that's where his life was tragically cut short. Some people been whispering for years that maybe if Jim had really pulled him out the trenches and given him that full protection, things might have ended differently. Others argue that it's unfair to blame Jim, because sometimes even when you try to save somebody, they can't leave what they know. The hood becomes home, even when it's dangerous. Stack was loved by his people, rooted deep in his block, and that's what made his story so heartbreaking. To this day, his loss still echoes through hip-hop. His name comes up every time loyalty, leadership, and tragedy are mentioned in the same breath. Yayo might have been trying to prove a point about how real ones take care of their own, but bringing Stack into it reopened old wounds that never healed. And once that clip hit social media, there was no putting that fire out again. I've seen it myself. You can hand somebody the whole blueprint, give them the tools, even invest in their dream, and somehow they still don't move. It's painful when you want success for somebody more than they want it for themselves. Maybe that's exactly what went down between Jim Jones and Stack Bundles, a mix of love, loyalty, and deep frustration all tangled together. But the streets didn't see it that way. They came for Jim heavy, accusing him of stealing Stack's entire swag, from the way he dressed, to how he talked, to his whole vibe. Folks said Jim took that Far Rockaway flavor and ran with it like it was his own. And truth be told, Stack Bundles really was that guy. If life hadn't been cut short, he could have been front row at Paris Fashion Week next to ASAP Rocky, no cap. That man had pure confidence, New York charisma, and a style that screamed superstar before the world even caught up. Once people started saying Jim stole the sauce and left Stack behind, things turned ugly fast. Jim's name was getting dragged online and he wasn't having it. But to his credit, he's always stood firm on his side of the story. He swears he did everything he could for Stack. Jim said he gave him opportunities, handed him money, brought him on the road, and tried to pull him out the hood. But according to Jim, Stack just wouldn't leave that life behind, and that's what broke him the most. Jim's always been emotional about Stack. That's not for the cameras, that's real pain. You can see it in his interviews whenever Stack's name comes up. His whole demeanor changes. He gets tight, voice drops, eyes shift. That pain still lives in him. Whether folks bring up that alleged $25,000 talk, the GWA controversy, or all the other street rumors that float around online, one thing's solid. Jim Jones takes anything tied to Stack personally. That's family to him, not just another artist. So when Tony Yayo started publicly speaking on Stack's death and bringing Jim's name into it, that hit a nerve. Jim didn't hear it as hip-hop commentary. He heard it as straight disrespect. Someone dragging a painful memory into the spotlight for views. So when he sat down with Memphis, Bleek, and Yayo's name came up, it was on sight. All that bottled up emotion came pouring out like a volcano. Memphis Bleek tried to calm things down, tried to play the middle, but Jim wasn't going for it. He snapped right there on mic. No filter, no hesitation. He made it clear. He's not starving, his team not starving, and this whole debate over who's got the better sugar daddy was clown behavior. You could feel the fire in his words. That old Dipset energy came right back, and the whole room got tense. The vibe shifted quick. You could practically feel it through the screen. Jim wasn't just defending his pockets, he was protecting his respect and the memory of someone he loved like blood. That's when things got real. You could tell this wasn't just rap talk anymore, this was personal. And it left everybody watching wondering, is this just two OGs venting, or are we watching the start of another full-blown rap war about to spark off in 2025? Once the topic came up, Jim flipped the switch completely. He went into full flex mode, talking big about his paper, his cars, his lifestyle, all of it. He started stacking up his wins next to Yayo's situation like it was a scoreboard battle. He was flexing hard, letting the world know he's still that guy, rich, relevant, and respected. But here's the crazy part, and that wasn't even what Yayo was talking about in the first place. Yayo never said Jim was broke, never tried to downplay his hustle. He literally said, Jim good. His whole point was deeper than dollars. He was saying the people around Jim don't look like they're winning like he is, that maybe the love doesn't spread equally through the camp. And honestly, if Jim had caught that message instead of taking it as a money shot, things might have played out completely different. Maybe it could have been a grown man conversation about leadership, loyalty, and how to lift your people up. But Jim wasn't hearing none of that. He was in full defense mode, guarded, emotional, and ready to fire back at anybody questioning his name. From that moment, you could tell this wasn't about ego. This was about respect. Jim felt like Yayo touched something sacred, something that still hurts to this day. And instead of brushing it off, he made sure the whole world knew he's standing 10 toes down for stacked bundles no matter what anyone says. Jim's eyes were burning with that Harlem fire. You could see it. That raw pride, that unshakable ego, that don't play with me energy pulsing through him. He felt disrespected, like Tony Yayo was trying to clown him in front of the world. And if there's one thing about Jim Jones, he don't let nobody make him or his circle look weak. That's a line you just don't cross. He clapped back instantly, yelling, "Ain't nobody feeding me. I built this from the ground up." He said it with his chest. Jim wanted the world to know he's not living off nobody's plate. Not Jay-Z's, not 50 Cent's, not a single soul's. That was him standing tall on business, reminding everyone that he carved his lane by himself, brick by brick. But instead of cooling off, Jim turned the heat up even more. He flipped the whole script and went straight at Yayo, accusing him of being too tied to 50 Cent. He said Yayo's always moving in 50's shadow, never stepping out to shine on his own. That's when the whole vibe changed. The convo stopped being talk and turned into tension. The air in that studio got so heavy, you could practically feel it through the mic. Memphis Bleek kept trying to ease the tension, throwing little jokes and side comments to cool things down. But Jim, nah, he was gone. Emotions took full control, and it was clear. This wasn't just about Tony Yayo's comments anymore. This was about years of built-up frustration. All those quiet comparisons, all the internet chatter, all the Jim don't take care of his people talk. Jim had hit his limit. He was done letting folks question his name or his legacy. He started going off, talking big money, big cars, designer fits, diamond chains, full-on flex mode. He was shouting how he's rich, solid, and self-made. But deep down, everyone watching knew that wasn't the real issue. This whole thing was never about who's richer. It was about respect. Jim wanted the world to stop playing with his name once and for all. But Tony Yayo, he wasn't backing down either, not even close. Instead of ranting online or dropping long responses, he hit Jim with a move so smooth and savage that it broke the internet. He just posted one thing, a photo of Jim's longtime rival, Max B, on his Instagram story. No words, no captions, nothing extra, just that picture. That one silent post spoke louder than any diss track ever could. The second that story hit the timeline, chaos erupted. The internet went nuts. Reposts flying, comment sections exploding, fans arguing like it was 2006 all over again. Some people said Yayo was being petty and messy for no reason, while others said he was playing chess, not checkers. Either way, that post split the culture right down the middle. Jim's fans jumped in heavy screaming, "Capo forever," and saying he earned everything he's got. But Yayo's supporters fired back, saying he just exposed what everyone's been scared to say out loud, that Jim's been fronting about loyalty for years. That post was pure gasoline on an open flame, and the explosion was instant. And of course, Jim wasn't about to let that slide, not even for a second. Once Yayo brought Max B into the mix, the gloves came off completely. You could almost feel the tension through your phone screen. Max B has always been a sensitive topic for Jim. Their fallout still cuts deep even after all these years. So for Yayo to throw Max into the middle of their beef, that wasn't trolling. That was pressing the red button. Jim fired back right away. He hopped on live, puffing his chest out, pacing back and forth, talking heavy. He said straight up, "Don't play with me, I've been outside for real." He was on go mode, his tone sharp, his body language screaming, "I'm not the one." He accused Yayo of chasing relevance, saying he only brings Jim's name up to stay talked about. You could see the frustration all over him. It wasn't just about the post. It was about how fast the internet ran with Yayo's story like it was gospel. Within hours, fans were picking sides like it was a throwback rap war. Dipset versus G Unit, round 2. The comment sections turned into digital battlegrounds. People yelling, "Jim still the capo," while others fired back with, "Yayo keeping it real." It was chaos, pure hip-hop drama spilling all over timelines. Even the OGs started jumping in, old heads from both camps posting cryptic messages and taking subliminal shots. The culture was watching in real time as two legends reignited one of the most unexpected feuds of the year. And by that point, it wasn't about who had the best music. It was about who had the realest heart. Both camps jumped in like it was 2005 all over again, posting cryptic messages, old concert clips, and throwback diss footage, like they were gearing up for another round of that classic G Unit versus Dipset smoke. The timelines looked like a time machine, everyone ready for a new season of old school chaos. But here's the wild part. Under all that noise, there was still a little truth buried in what Tony Yayo was saying. His point was never just about flexing or trying to clown Jim Jones. It was deeper than that. He was talking about leadership, about how the people around you are a reflection of how solid you really are. Because what's the point of being rich if your crew's still struggling to eat? That message hit fans in the gut. It felt too real. Still, Jim wasn't trying to hear it. He clapped back by doubling down on his image, making sure everyone knew his team was good, his money was long, and nobody in his circle was starving. He reminded the world he's been putting people on for years, from Bird Gang to the Lobby Boys and even young artists now. Jim made it crystal clear that he's proud of his track record and won't let anybody rewrite his legacy. Meanwhile, Yayo kept it slick and savage. No rants, no essays, just silent shade. He started posting laughing emojis, sneaky captions, and even old clips of 50 Cent talking about loyalty. It was like Yayo was sending a coded message. See, this what real brotherhood looks like. That one stung, because no matter what people say about G Unit, one thing's true. 50 and Yayo always ride for each other. That's a bond that's lasted decades, and Yayo knows it hits Jim where it hurts. But under all that internet drama, there's something deeper bubbling. Ego, loyalty, and pride colliding in real time. Jim's trying to defend his name, his crew, and his image as a self-made boss. Yayo standing on his truth, repping his loyalty to 50 and calling it how he sees it. This ain't just some rap beef. This is about legacy, about who really lives the code they rap about and who's just talking for the cameras. Social media made it even crazier. Memes started flooding every platform. Edits of old G Unit verses, Dipset moments, split-screen clips of their interviews, even side-by-side comparisons of Jim's live and Yayo's posts. Fans were breaking it down like it was a heavyweight fight, analyzing every bar, every look, every word. Even DJ Academics had to jump in, saying this might be the most entertaining old-school beef hip-hop's seen in years. And he wasn't lying. The drama had everything. History, loyalty, betrayal, and real emotion. You could feel it brewing like the calm before another storm. But through all the chaos, one thing's for sure. This story is far from over. Both men got pride too big to fold, fan bases too loyal to back down, and reputations too solid to let anyone punk them. The tension's sitting heavy and the whole culture's waiting to see who makes the next move. Will they keep it lyrical and settle it with bars, or will this tension start spilling off the mic and back into the streets? Because if that happens, best believe the world gonna be watching every second, every post, every live stream like it's breaking news. This new wave of G-Unit verses. Dipset energy might just spark one of the wildest showdowns hip-hop's seen in years. And no matter which side you're on, you already know. It's about to get crazy.
Thanks for watching till the end. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Fire.